Hey, welcome back to Bobby Flay Every Day. This is the place where we take a Bobby Flay recipe, we cook it up, and then we talk about it. We experience the ambiance of the situation as we go through and cook these recipes. And today is a special day in the life of a griller. Today is Cinco de Mayo. So you can sort of hear the Jimmy Buffett wafting through the courtyard today. And here's today's menu. I'm going to show you right here. I've got it on here. We're going to start off with skirt steak fajitas. And that's kind of Grilling for Life by Bobby Flay. And then we're going to do an avocado salad, which actually this doesn't look like a Bobby Flay book, but in fact it really kind of is, because this is the book I use to take notes when I'm watching Bobby Flay's TV shows. So avocado salad's coming off the TV show Grill It. And then finally, a cactus pear margarita. Now you wonder, what is a cactus pear margarita? Well, there's a story about this. Several years ago, Dorothy and I were in San Antonio. We went to the Riverwalk, and we went to this place that specialized in margaritas, and there on the menu was a cactus margarita, which I'd never heard of, so I ordered it. Well, it was one of the best things I ever had. A couple years later, we visited our son in Dallas, and then we together went down to San Antonio, and he took us to a place sort of a off the beaten path kind of place that he knew about in San Antonio, and sure enough, there was again cactus pear. So imagine my surprise. Maybe I shouldn't have been too surprised. When I got the Mesa Grill cookbook, it turns out that the cactus pear margarita is the signature drink at Bobby Flay's Mesa Grill in New York City. So in this book, it tells you how to get cactus pear, because I'd never found it in any store where I live, and so I ordered on the internet from Tucson, Arizona, this right here, right out of the book. It's Sherry's Desert Harvest Cactus Pear, sometimes called prickly pear syrup. So today we're going to start off by making the Mesa Grill signature drink here for Cinco de Mayo, the prickly pear margarita. Now, I don't know about you, but I always prefer a frozen margarita. Maybe it's because when I was a kid, you know, I really liked icy drinks. You know, ices that came with a polar bear on the cup, and you'd get it at a 7-Eleven or someplace. And one time my sister and I were plotting to get some free ices, and when we were kids, and we were going home from someplace in 2 different cars. I went with my mother, she went with my father, which was a strategic plan, and we were going to try to get them to stop along the way and get us an ices. When we got home, we both had been successful, and we had 4 ices to drink. So probably it's because of that, because I just like a frozen icy. I really prefer a frozen margarita. So let me show you this. This is the snowy little blizzard. I don't know if you also remember the movie A Christmas Story, where Ralphie is retelling his childhood memories of Christmas, and he remembered the Red Ryder BB rifle as his gift, and in that movie he said that was the best gift he got. In fact, it was the best gift he ever got, and he was narrating from the perspective of being older and looking back on his life. Well, I don't know if this is the best gift I ever got, but it's pretty darn close. This is a commercial snow cone machine that turns out to be the best margarita maker that you'll ever see. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make us some prickly pear margaritas using the Snowy. And this is the first time the Snowy's been out this season, so this is a big occasion, Cinco de Mayo. So here's how I did it. I took the prickly pear syrup, and what I did was I put in this pitcher 2 parts of tequila, 1 part of triple sec, and 1 part and a little skosh extra of the prickly pear. Now I'm going to put in some lime. We'll cut up some lime here. We'll want 1 lime for the drink itself, and then we're going to squeeze the rest of the lime. Now, I found this in the back of the refrigerator. We don't use stuff like this. We use fresh lime and we squeeze it. So we're getting rid of that. We'll take our lime squeezer, stick it in here, and we'll put it right into the drink. There we go. We want the freshest stuff we can. We'll mix that up. That prickly pear syrup is kind of thick. Okay, so I've got that ready to go. And now what I'll do is I've got some ice down here in the refrigerator. It goes in the top of the Snowy. 2 cubes of ice. Alright. Close the lid. I put some ice already in it, but here's the rest. So it's going to grind up that ice and throw it into the cup. check that out. Snow cone ice, the best you can get. Now the best part, we'll add the prickly pear concoction. You know, a frozen concoction. And here it goes. Now I call this color crimson. In that bar I was telling you about that our son took us to where we found the prickly pear, he noticed that while I was sitting there at the bar, the ice started to kind of diffuse the crimson color and sort of turn into a pink color. And he said to me, you know you're in a Texas bar drinking a pink drink. Well, I told him since it was prickly pear it would be okay. And besides, a real man can drink a pink drink even in Texas. Let's see if it's as good as San Antonio. Here we go. All right. Oh yeah. Here's to the prickly pear. Here's to the cactus margarita, straight from San Antonio. It's just like it was we were there. It's almost like San Antonio, Tennessee. Okay, we're back. We got the prickly pear going. Before we run over the grill, take a look over here. You might remember that on bobbyflay.blogspot.com last winter, these grapevines were full of ice, and you can see they've recovered from the winter and they're ready to go. This is the third year of these vines, so we're hoping to get some grapes this year. So, you know, this is the world's smallest vineyard. It's only 3 plants, but I'm growing Chianti here in the backyard behind the grill. Okay, speaking of the grill, come on over. We'll get started. The skirt steak fajitas are a menu from Grilling for Life with Bobby Flay. And so I've got the grill going, it's heating up. Now you can only really use skirt steak for fajitas. Sometimes maybe flank steak if you can't really get that, but really skirt steak is what you want. So I'm going to open it up. I've had my skirt steak marinating now for about 5 hours. The marinade was some olive oil, some red wine vinegar, salt, kosher salt, the real coarse type, fresh ground pepper, and some cayenne. So this ought to be pretty interesting and pretty spicy. One of the things you want to make sure to do with skirt steak is do the marinade, because after all, it could be tough if you don't marinate it right and cook it right. So I'm going to bring it out of the marinade. We'll put it on the grill. The proper. Oh, there's a bay leaf that I got to get out of there, and garlic. We'll put the steak right on there. Now check that out. That's what you want to see. You want to hear that sizzle. You want to see that flame up. That's the way it ought to be. Now what I'll do is I'm going to brush it down a little bit, turn down the heat some. Make sure we put that marinade all over the place. And we'll let it go to work. That's one thing about the grill. You got to let the grill do its own job. You don't have to tend to it very much. Just once you got everything set up, then close the lid, let the grill do its work. We'll get right back to it in just a second.